Hello. Hey up, what's up, what's good, bonjour. Welcome to the Any Given Runway show. I'm your host, Randall Carlton Brown. Any Given Runway celebrates the exploration of new cultures by highlighting some of the most artistic, athletic, tenacious, basically unique and interesting people in the world. Everyone has a story, each person a scholar. Welcome to Season 6. No lengthy preamble. Let's get right to it. We have an outstanding episode for today with a mystical guest. Costa Rican musician Gabriel Campos joins the show. From the streets of Mexico City to the glamour of London, Gabriel has over a decade of experience in musical performance. And during that time, he has reinvented what a guitar can be. Dissatisfied with the traditional 6-string, Gabriel has made a custom 16-string instrument capable of carrying bass lines, melody, rhythm, and piano arrangements all at once, creating a sound that feels somewhere between progressive metal and an orchestral composition. It's such an otherworldly sound that it had me stop in my tracks the first time I heard him perform. On today's episode, Gabriel talks about busking with a Les Paul in Mexico and how he was chasing a sound that no one else was making. Gabriel also discusses how that desire pushed him to design an instrument unlike anything on stage today. Lastly, our conversation explores what it's like to devote yourself to something that's meaningful. So this was a really fun chat. And before we bring him out, we're going to play a sample of his rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow performed on his custom 16-string guitar. And it's truly remarkable. You're going to love him. So let's go ahead and bring on Costa Rican musician Gabriel Campos, and let's learn.
Walking down one of my favorite places, the South Bank, and I see you. And what first drew me to you was the instrument you were playing, because I had never seen it before. And I had to stop and say, what is he playing? So first of all, tell me about your instrument. What is it?
Yeah, in that case, my instrument is like a custom-made instrument. This is a headless, bodiless 16-string guitar. The idea, because already I have 1/16 guitar in my country, but with full body and with the head. In that case, this is the same stuff, but it's lighter. And the idea was to place 3 instruments in the same one. We have 2 guitars and a bass. You have 9 strings down, 6-string guitar and 3 bass strings. And up there, you have 7-string guitar. You have 6 pickups, 2 for each guitar and 2 pickups for the bass. And you have even 3 inputs. You need 3 cables and 3 pedals and everything. You can place 3 different amps for the same instrument. But the idea was to put together all these. If you see, I have it's like a piano, because you have B0, like 5-string bass is the lowest string, and you get until E7. And the piano is like A0 to 8, something like that. I have that's just like 1 octave less than a piano. But it's a lot of music together.
Incredible. Where did the idea first come from?
The first time when I get my guitar, I started playing when I was 15. Now I'm 32. And I start with a normal guitar. I still have this guitar. It's a Fender Esquire. And I remember that I played in the streets, like here. I was busking, but in Mexico. And I was using a Les Paul. But I remember that when I was in Mexico, you see in the street a lot of people. And I was like trying to get the attention. And by this way, I say, I need to make something different. And the first thing that I do was to get a travel guitar. I sell my Gibson and I get on a travel guitar. And the travel guitar was just the neck was it's something like my guitar right now, headless, bodiless, but just 6 strings. And I start with that guitar. With this guitar, I start trying to make just the bass with this hand, just the bass, and then I tried to put the melody with this hand. But I realized really soon that with just 6 strings, for example, if I play the bass, I cannot play a lot of notes because this hand is going to use maybe 2 or 3 strings at a time. And what I do was to get a new travel guitar. And at that moment, I get 2 travel guitars, and I put together the travel guitars with some masking and some stuff. And by this way, I free my hand. With one hand, I get one guitar, and the next one with the next hand. And I practice a lot with that. And I remember that I have the idea to get a new instrument with all this stuff. And at the beginning, I was trying just with 12 strings, 6 and 6. And when I get the idea, I make a research in internet. And I remember that I see some guitars that had bass pickups. And I remember I say, oh, I want that for my guitar. And I see a guy that had a guitar with extended bass strings. And I say, oh, I want that too. And a guy had 2 inputs in the guitar. And, I take a lot of ideas. And I get in Mexico too, in Puebla, Mexico. And I get in a luthier. This guy, I get with idea. I say, okay, I want to, at the beginning was 15 strings. I remember that because I told him that I want 6, and 3 bass strings. And he was making the instrument, and like 3 months before he provided me the instrument, I called him and say, hey man, do you think that we can put an extra strings? And he told me, let me see. And at the end, he put the extra B is on the 7th string at the top. And he made the instrument. That was like 9 months, and he built the full instrument. I just explained him that I want the 16 strings, 6 pickups, 3 inputs. The guitar has to be from B0, the lowest note, like a 5-string bass. And for example, the strings that we have down is 0.13. That is really, really heavy strings. And in the top, where I make the melodies, is super slight. It's 0.8 for all the stuff, the bends and all this stuff, to get really lighter. And by this way, you can get a really heavy sound there. And up there, you can get a melody really easy just with practice. But the idea was a lot of things that came at the end with this instrument that I already have now.
Incredible. I love that your initial idea was, I got to do something different. Here I am in Pueblo, Mexico. I got to do something different to stand out. What's been the reaction like in London? I'm probably not the only one who is walking by. It's like, what's this guy doing? What's this guy playing? What's been the reaction?
Yeah, a lot of people, I don't know if you have seen, there is an instrument called a stick guitar. The guy was Chapman Stick. He already died like 2 years ago. And he created this instrument. It's like just like that, and a stick. And you have 10 and a version with 12 strings. And a lot of people comes and told me, hey man, this is a stick. Or hey man, what is that? And it's not a stick. It's just the idea to the 2 guitars and the bass together. But yeah, it's some similar to another instruments. The difference is the tuning. In that case, the Chapman stick, I remember that I played a Chapman stick several years ago, and I say, come on, I don't want to play this because it's like to learn a new instrument. It's a new tuning. In that case, for me was just to put together the 2 guitars, and I have in my mind the guitar all the time. When I learn a song, I sing in guitar all the time. The tuning, everything is the same. If you play the guitar, you can play my guitar for sure.
Well, and in addition to that, pedals, loops, amps, there's no technology that you're afraid of. You love incorporating all different sounds. So how did you develop that? In the experimental phase, how did you find what worked for you? What suited you the best?
In that case, at the beginning was just the guitar and the amp, but then I found an Zoom MS50G. This is a pedal stump. It's like a multi-effect pedal, but in just one pedal. In just one pedal, you have distortions, delays, chorus, and all the stuff. And my idea was to put the three pedals like a multi-effects pedal for each instrument. And by this way, I have two Zoom MG50 for guitar and one Zoom M60 for bass. And I have two multi-effects for one guitar and one multi-effects for each bass. But it's really the normal stuff. I have a little bit delay in the guitar when I make the melody, a little bit chorus, and just that, actually. And in my pedal board, I have a mixer just for the volume. But it's just to have a little different color.
A little different color. I think that's a great way to describe it. I was listening to a song of yours the other day, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and I found myself enchanted, but also waiting to hear what's next. Like, what's he going to do next? What's the next sound I'm going to hear? It was very surprising. What do you want listeners who are hearing you for the first time, what do you want them to hear? What do you want them to experience?
In that case, this is the good thing with the music, because even a really old song like this one, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but when you make the arrangement, you can make the song like yours. For example, in my case, because I have in the same neck, bass and guitar strings, I use a kind of chord that you cannot make in a normal guitar. It's an open chord. In that case, it's like if you have a piano and you play one note here, one here, and one here. You cannot make this with one hand in the piano because that don't allow you. But in the guitar, in that one, you can play a really low bass and a really high note down. And it's really easy. It's just three fingers, just that, like in vertical, and you get the note. By this way, this chord is like to have a bass all the time, and the guitar making the harmony, and you go up there and make the melody. In that, you can make, for example, you can make all the stuff of the guitar. At the beginning, I was trying with this stuff with just the bass notes, walking bass, and the normal guitar chords, and already put together the bass notes with the chords to create a short bass and guitar. But even you can make a strumming. You can, for example, in the guitar, you make this stuff like strumming the notes with your pick. And I can do that. I just play the short, and with my pinky, I strum in the shorts. And this is a really nice sound because I can make a bass guitar sounds and even strumming the guitar like if I was like with this hand, and this hand is already free to make the melody. But it's a lot of possibilities, actually.
On your channel, you've got songs from the Beatles, songs from John Lennon, which are the first ones I wanted to listen to, some of my favorite musicians. How did the Beatles and John Lennon, how did they play a role in your music development?
I have a Beatles tattoo. This is my hand. This is All You Need Is Love, is the song, the music. And I don't know, when I was in Mexico, I was playing with a drummer, and I remember that we say, man, we need to play Beatles songs. Everybody loves the Beatles. It's the easiest way to get the attention of the people too. And what a lot of stuff, like, okay, I need to something different, music different, but at the same time, I need music that everybody knows. In that case, it's like the instrument is some kind of weird, but the music, everybody knows who is the Beatles. And by this way, it's like to get more and more attention because the street is like the jungle. The people are just walking in his stuff, and you need to get the attention to the people at least one moment to get to stay and see you.
Fantastic. First of all, my Beatles tattoo is in my life. That's mine. So we're one and the same on that. You said something there that I was fascinated by, getting someone's attention because it's a jungle. especially in the areas that you're playing where there's thousands of people that walk past you, but maybe they only hear you for 30 seconds.
It's like, for example, the amps, you need some little bit louder to get the people attention, but not too loud because maybe you can be annoying for the people, you know. And I think, for example, if you play higher notes, like when you go to the solo, you can put a little bit distortion or make really, really high notes. It's going to get the attention. But in my case, I don't think a lot of that because just the instrument take the attention of the people. Now this instrument that you see is like really weird because it's just like a stick. The last time I was in London, I was with my old instrument. It's the same 16-string guitar, but with a normal body. It's just to see on a bigger guitar. But now this one, I don't know, it's like the people what is that? But it's the same 16-string guitar.
You just mentioned something. You said, play a little louder, play a little more high pitch. Is that why maybe you choose certain locations? I've noticed that some buskers like to play underneath some of the bridges and feel like the sound will be amplified there. Is that the case?
Yeah, it depends because the last time when I was in London, I was playing in Trafalgar all the time, close to the Waterstones Library, and there is a lot of traffic there. And I use this like stuff to get more attention. But in the Tate Modern, for example, it's really quiet. You can play a really, really slowly songs, a lovely songs, and the people is going to stay there. I really like this place for that reason. You don't need to make a really, really loud speaker. Or if you go to the tunnel is even better because it's quiet. Actually, you need to be a little bit not too loud because you get a lot of reverb from the tunnel. Actually, but yeah, this place I really like for that reason.
They're an organization where you guys pick your set times because I've walked by and seen one performer and then 5 minutes later walked back and I've seen a different performer. So do you work together with other performers to establish what time and where?
Yeah, depends because, for example, if you don't have any license, you need to go in a place that don't require the license. If you don't have the license, for example, you cannot stay in Westminster. You need a license there. But here in South Bank, there is no license, and it's like if you arrive really early, you are the first, and then the next guy is going to be the second and the third one, and you are going to play 1 hour each one. This is just in Tate Modern, but if you go to the tunnel or in Blackfriars, the tube, there is 2 hours. You just need to go and arrive with your stuff. This is the only thing. You need to, if you arrive like third one, you need to stay there with your stuff, or at least your stuff. You don't need to stay there, but your amp and the guitar need to stay there and wait. For example, we start like 11, and all the time arrive like 9 a.m. because for me, I don't have anything to do. I just arrive and practice a little bit and start 11 to 12. But if you arrive like 11:30 and there is 3 guys more, you need to stay there until 4 is going to be your turn. And that happens, and it don't happens a lot in the week, but the weekends, yes. The weekends, the Saturday, you can see 5, 6 guys before 11 even. And you can play only 1 hour.
What have been some of the most memorable interactions you've had?
Maybe I remember right now one, but in Mexico, because I was playing really close to the Zócalo. The Zócalo is the place where they make all the stuff, the important people. And by this way, I remember that I think was playing Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. He was playing there, and was a lot of people. And when the people was coming, when all this stuff ends, we was playing, and I remember that it was like 2,000 people just looking us playing because the Roger Waters was over, and we have all this crowd just for us, and was really nice, the people just giving us the money and all these people. But this is the really good stuff on the street, because all the people has problems, has all this stuff, and just the people just stand one moment and hear you. I really appreciate that, because actually you just place there and the people don't have to take your attention. You need to fight for that.
How long have you been playing in London?
In London, I try to come every year and I stay 6 months. Now this is my second month. I think that I'm going to live until September because my passport just let me stay 6 months. And I to get back to get again the 6 months. And for me, it's really cold after September. I cannot play in the street because I'm really not good with the cold. And I want to spend Christmas with my family too.
What's been your favorite thing of being in London, living in London?
I really love this city. Just take the bus. For me, take the bus is just that is great. The houses, the buildings, the people. I love this place. I really love this place. I'm going to Liverpool the next week because I want to try there. But I love everything. I love how is the people. For me, it's too polite. The people. I really like that. The buildings, the how if you have any problem or something, like the people wants to help you. I don't know. This is like a cultural stuff, but I really like it. If I hope to maybe live in some time here more than just 6 months.
How can people find you? Do you have any special performances coming up?
No, at this moment I'm going just to be busking. I hope that in Liverpool gets really nice because I want to stay there. But you can find me in Gabriel Campos music in all the social media, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, YouTube, and all is the same stuff. Gabriel Campos music it's like a dream because I really don't want to make a normal work, a normal job, because I feel like I'm losing my life. For example, like I don't know. It's okay the people that have a normal job, but I have been making this a lot of years, and I think that it's the only thing that I know to do. And I feel like it's like if I don't do that with my life, with play all the time and play here right now, it's like what I'm doing with my life if I am not doing this.
I hope that you continue to perform for a long time, and I also hope that while you're in Liverpool, I hope you go check out Penny Lane.
Yeah, I just hope that be really great because the Beatles are from there. I hope that the people really likes my Beatles songs there. I want to tell you thank you. I really appreciate that you take your time and make me all the questions. You hear my music. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And I will see you again. I know we'll see each other again, and I'll come say hello next time I see you as well.
For sure, Randall. Thank you so much for the time, and I hope that you get a really, really great day.
Perfecto, mi amigo. Thank you. Pura vida.
Thank you so much. Bye, Randall.
Thank you for listening. Much appreciation to Gabriel. Give him a follow on social media and check out his YouTube channel, Gabriel Campos Music. Everyone has a story, each person a scholar. Thank you for listening. Fill up that passport. I'll see you on the road. Aviento.